Короче, тут люди свадьбу играют.
Yes. Our next stop will be our only restroom break.
Okay.
So use it license. Well, this is pretty. I was just gonna say, it's only 6 people. I shouldn't lose anyone, but I'm not gonna jinx myself.
Yeah. Watch out for this one.
I don't think he's the one that needs to be watched.
Say what? Oh, really? 100 across the board?
Am I holding something?
Remember that? The doctor came out as a letter.
Видимо, приходят, сидят, отдыхают просто за $10.
You guys notice over here to the left, Little Indian Creek takes a pretty dramatic turn to the east, and that cuts through Little Indian Canyon. We've got 3 canyons out here on the property, just as big as this Dogwood Canyon, and that's one of them. Except that is completely undeveloped. There is nothing man-made back there at all. You can kind of just make out our horse stables back there. We do all of our horseback riding trails, but we also offer private tours in off-road vehicles where you naturally cross the creek 21 times back there. Really awesome tour if you get a chance. And this is Dogwood Creek. We're going to cross it and follow it for the rest of the way. Now, Dogwood Creek also means guided fishing only past this point. You can self-guide from this bridge here to the right all the way back to the beginning of the park, but past this sign and bridge, you need to hire one of our awesome professional fly fishing guides to guide you through the rest of the canyon. Now, rainbow trout is the majority of the fish you're going to find here, and you can catch and keep or catch and release, that's up to you. We will clean your fish and put it on ice, but it is $5 a pound. Now, rainbow trout is actually native to California, but they love icy cold water. So they are stocked all over the world now where that happens. And a Missouri spring runs at 50 degrees year round, which is very cold. The trout really seem to do well here. Now, there's only one problem with spring water. When it comes out of the ground or out of the rock, it is 10 to 20,000 year old rainwater, and it almost has no oxygen in it at all. So all these little mini waterfalls that we're going to come across in the center of the creek system, they are called weirs, W-E-I-R-S, and they are all man-made. In fact, anywhere you see that stacked stone like that is man-made. And what they do is they put a ton of oxygen back into this Missouri spring water, and it also helps pool up the creek to create a larger habitat for the fish to live in. Now, the rainbow trout is a really aggressive fish, and they've got a really nice set of teeth on them. They usually just live naturally in this system here. We've got plenty of crawfish, in fact, different species, ones that are even blue, Missouri minnows, a bunch of different kind of invertebrate insects that usually swim through the creek. They usually snap it right up.
Fish.
We're coming up to Thunder Falls on our left. It's a favorite spot of our wedding photographer. Now try to stop at some of these same photography points on the way back also. Thank you, girls.
It's always so close. I just
And the next time we cross the creek up here, this is one of our eye level crossings. Pretty good photo opportunity for the right side of the tram. Guys, would be pretty close to even with the surface of the water on this one. And we've got over 30 springs out here on this property. This is Six Stump Spring over here on the left. It's actually got about 7 different places where the water's coming directly out of the rock. That big clear spring pool is the largest one, but even farther left here across this little creek goes all the way up to this point about 30 foot in front of us. Flows at about 250,000 gallons a day and then rejoins Dogwood Creek in there behind us. Yeah, even at 250,000 gallons, you know, that even sounds a lot. That's probably like our 12th biggest spring out here. We have other springs that are way bigger than that.
I think this is where the wedding was.
This is our chuck wagon site. This is really our food pavilion. We do most of our catering events out here and all of our concerts. We've had some pretty famous musical guests over the years like Johnny Cash, Kid Rock, Hank Williams Jr., Waylon Jennings have all played out here at this location. Now this main paved road that we're on goes the entire length of the canyon floor. We've got some really cool off-road hikes here too. We've got 6 of these mulch trails on the property, like Pine Ridge Pass here on the left. Now they all vary in length. That one happens to be about 1.25 miles. But they all have one thing in common. They all take you high up on the ridge for some pretty awesome views and then wrap you back around to a certain point on this paved road. Box Canyon Trail right there on our left. That's our shortest one, about 0.3 miles. Takes you up to the top of Box Mountain and then straight back down to this point. This old dirt road here on the right is a logging trail from the 1800s. Still has its same name. That is 7 Mule Pass right there. That's our longest off-road hike, about 2.7 miles. Takes you back to the Nature Center where I picked you guys up at. Up high on Hickory Ridge, there's a couple of active bald eagle nests. up there and an old homestead that still stands from 1908. Yeah, in December we get about 100 bald eagle come down here and nest and raise their young. Pretty cool. A lot of them go back for the summertime. They go back to Alaska and the Great Lakes area where they're from. Thank you, Jim. Hey, guys.
He has a skeleton.
Now, this is one of the most used Osage Indian caves on the whole property. And the reason being, you can see the little creek coming out of it there. All the way in the back of that cave, the water flows directly out of the canyon wall at about 10,000 gallons a day. Just past that entrance reveals a 20-foot wide by 70-foot deep cave. Originally in 1994, when archaeologists explored it, pottery pieces and arrowheads were discovered in there. But right now, you can see by the sign, we call it the Bat Cave. We've got about 5,000 Missouri big brown bats in there, made their colony. It's pretty awesome. They come out here at night and they've reduced the mosquitoes and the gnats in the canyon by about 90%. Now, if you notice, the rock here in the northern part of the canyon is all different shades of brown. It's a type of limestone called calcite. We're at a little bit of a lower elevation here, closer to Table Rock Lake. But if we start to go south, we'll start climbing in elevation. The rock will change over to different shades of gray. We'll change over to a type of limestone called dolomite. I'll park for a moment on this bridge. If you look to your right, that is Great Spirit Falls and Great Spirit Rock Shelter. That is the most significant archaeological find in the entire state of Missouri up there. A bundle burial, some rare turtle shells that are now extinct, hand axes and projectile points dated to 6000 BC. It is the